Scales are the most important fundamental building blocks you can learn in music. They are the ABCs of your music. Scales are ABCs, chords are words, and harmony is how we use the words to form sentences. Okay, now you need to make sure that you have your 12 major scales mastered if you want to progress far and wide in chord theory and harmony. Now you only need to master your right hand if you want to get started, because again, depends on what level you want to go to. If you're trying to be a virtuoso, obviously learn both hands, but just to understand the concepts of what music has to offer, you just need to be fluent in one hand. Now I'm going to show you fingerings for both, but again, you take it for how far as you want to go. Now, just a quick disclaimer, I use a slightly different fingering for some of the scales because I find it more efficient to have one fingering that covers different scales like minor, melodic, and harmonic, but that's a conversation for another time. Now, there are timestamps so you can quickly jump to which scale you're interested in learning, and at the end, I will show you how to practice it. And of course, make sure you use the pause and rewind buttons. Rewind it and pause it as many times as you need to get the fingerings. Here we go. So that's it, 12 major scales with both hands. Now remember, you only need to be fluent in one hand to conceptually be able to graduate to chord theory and harmony, to be able to understand and keep up. The reason why is you need to know your scale degrees. So for instance, you need to know your scales well enough to be able to do this. You're in the key of B flat, what's the 3? D, what's the 5? F, what's the 7? A. You're in the key of E, what's the 3? G sharp, A flat, right? You're in the key of D, what's the 4? G, what's the 5? A, what's the 7? C sharp. You need to know your scale degrees in all 12 keys within 3 seconds. Only then will you have a wonderful and fun time learning chord theory, because you need to know your scale degrees to use the formulas in there. Now again, you only need to have it fluent in one hand to be able to do that, but it's important that you play the scales and practice them so you get it to that level of mastery, okay? So that's the point. Yes, it's nice to be able to facilitate them physically, you want that as well, but in terms of the conceptual part to actually learn chord progressions and chord harmony and chord theory, you need to know it at the bare minimum to be able to recite scale degrees within 3 seconds. Now with that being said, how do you practice them? I like to practice everything in time. Now, I started off with the metronome, but I find metronome is a little bit boring, so I like to practice mine to backing tracks, and this is what that sounds like.
1, 2, 3. 4.
So I hope that was helpful, and I just can't stress enough, please make sure you take your time to learn all 12 major scales. They really are the backbone of all of Western music. Chord theory, harmony will always be elusive until you get this down. I do have a class that I teach this in. If you want to join that, if you'd like to have some help and accountability and some others to learn with you, you can find more information about that in the link in the description below. But once again, I hope this is helpful. Here's all the tools you need to succeed. Make sure to practice it 2 scales a week. You'll have it mastered in 6. Then you can move on to different concepts like chord theory and harmony. See you in the next one.